Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge. We're here for round 3 of our 2024 Winter Series here from Zolder in Belgium. And this mighty technical and narrow circuit is going to provide one fantastic canvas for us all to enjoy this evening with 2 races coming your way, as you can see just at the bottom of your screen there. Race 1 should get going at about 8:45 European time, and then 9:15 we should get going with race 2. But we have a reverse grid, of course, for the second race of the evening. But we come here to Zolder after 2 fantastic race meetings to begin our season. First off at the Hungaroring, and then last time out, 2 weeks ago, we were at Slovakia Ring, a long, smooth, flowing track that gave our drivers a mighty hard time. But what we're going to do before we jump into tonight's action is have a quick look back at some of the brilliant shots that we had from round 2. So a fantastic look there at the action from last time out. It was very lively, lots of contact here and there, but the drivers were worked very hard all evening, and it was a lot of fun to watch, great fun to commentate on, and hopefully you all enjoyed watching as well. This is how the championship looks coming to round 3. Here at Zolder, we have Norbert Kish leading the way for Revish Sim Racing, 10 points clear of Jorge Vila, and Robin Kreutoff in 3rd place, 17 points back. So it's a little bit of a 2-horse race at the moment, but behind Robin Kreutoff, it is remarkably close between Enrique Marcos, Lucas Hahn. We have also Christian Hagedis as well, Cornel Burquez, Gego Balai, Angel Rapero inside the top 10, and Nathan Smith, the British driver, the only one in a right-hand drive truck for this series, finds himself, inside the top 10. It's Sasha Lenz in 11th position ahead of Valentin Nechtel at the moment, with Jari Stark 13th. And then we have Christian, I think it's Gillian Christian in there it was Christian Gillian, sorry, in 14th place. Aitor Marinaz in 15th, Bjorn Tyhus in 16th. And then the driver in the 112 machine is Benjamin Rico Rodriguez. Thank you very much to Giro, the broadcaster, who will be behind the scenes today. You won't hear him, but he is there and he is working mighty hard, as always, to give me wonderful pictures and all of the information that I need. I'm just reaching for my spotter's guide. I knew I'd forgotten something for this evening because I knew that I wanted to have that on my desk. Jose Vila in 17th, tied for 17th place. He's only done 3 races, actually, this season. He's only completed 3 races, but he's actually the highest driver in the championship that has done so. So missing that race already has seemingly affected his standings position. Next up is Shabox Kerry in 19th, ahead of German Tobias Martinez. Then we have Jose Alemani in 21st, outside of the top 20, of course. Next up, though, we have the team standings, and it's a 39-point lead at the moment for Revish Sim Racing ahead of Urban Sim Racing, which is Cornel Burkes and Christian Hagedis. 3rd place at the moment is the Dutch truck racing team, Robin Kreutoff, Bjorn Tyhus, Bastian Donker, and Henry Tyhus as well. A big squad for those guys, spreading the points amongst the field. Then Panos Albertetti in 4th place with Alemani and Enrique Marcos, who, of course, took a race victory last time out at the Slovakia Ring. Then we have SG Stern, if I could say it right, Force of Asgard, Rising Suns Motorsport, Non-Turbo Non-Party, and the HVML Esport team. All of them scoring some solid points so far, at least. Getting them on the board, that's the main thing. In it to win it, and points mean prizes. Here's a quick look at our circuit then that we're racing on this evening. Zolder, like I said, very narrow, very tight and twisty. A lot of heavy braking zones here, similar to a few of the circuits that we're going to get to, but nowhere feels quite as enclosed as Zolder, and nowhere has quite as near as many chicanes. The chicanes will be a talking point tonight, though. Like I said, heavy braking zones for those, so expect overtaking maneuvers, maybe a little bit of contact onto the brakes. But we also need to think about track limits. The drivers will have bollards and penalty markers to avoid. However, the penalties for such contact will only be applied in the race. So we're going to see some, obviously, within the rules, creative, I believe, was the word that Giro used earlier for the racing lines through the chicanes in qualifying. But it's very stable conditions at the moment. They're not going to have to worry too much about high temperatures. Track temperature is only 27 degrees at this moment in time, and it is 20 degrees air temperature, but no wind. So it's not going to change much as the evening goes on. 2 12-lap races, though, around this circuit. That's just over 4 kilometers. And it feels like a mighty long time when you do a lap around this place because there's so many elements to it. You never really get a chance to just sort of take your mind off it for a second or just recuperate your thoughts. We do have the run down to the first of the chicanes, the Kleiner chicane. You go down the right-hand side, just on the left of our shot, actually, there. The right-hander, as they go away from us, is the Lucien Bianchi box. Now, that corner sets you up to the qualifying. Sorry, I was literally reading out loud what I'm being told here. Gero was just mentioning that we're going to qualifying, everybody. Here we are. But we are looking right now at Norbert Kish. Not long to go now, 3 minutes, and he's currently fastest by 68 thousandths of a second. Very close between those guys. Enrique Marcos finds himself 3rd. Cornel Burquez in 4th. He's having a good start to this season. Robin Kreutoff in 5th place. Lucas Hahn 6th ahead of Jose Vila. I actually have to apologise to Jorge and Jose Vila because last time I was discounting them from being real world truck racing drivers. But those guys clearly showing their talents, translating over to the sim as well as in the real world, which is exactly what we love to see. But Norbert Kish, he's been very dominant in the qualifying sessions so far and in the first races of the day, much like he is in the Real World Championship. It's great to have him involved in the series. He's such an advocate for it as well. At the end of the day, Norbert's career started in sim racing, then went racing for real, and has now become a global superstar. We've got a lot of Bulgarian fans watching over on his stream, and of course here with us today. Well, this man, currently second fastest Jorge Vila in truck number 12, also in the MAN. You can see, look, cutting the first part of the chicane, but not the second part there. They don't have to worry about those penalty markers in this qualifying session. So like I say, the drivers will use every inch of tarmac they can find to get the best time. And when it comes to the race, they don't really want to get into too much of a rhythm here by cutting that too much, because when they suddenly can't do that in the race, it may come as a bit of a shock to the system, and they really have to readjust their braking markers and adjust their lines in general. We'll have to see how drivers do at sort of adapting to the braking area. You can see, look, they are clipping the bollards and the markers. They're not completely running underneath them. This is Enrique Marcos, third in qualifying at the moment, currently in the championship, in fourth place on 150 points. He's only 6 points behind Robin Kroitov. Robin is in the pit lane at the moment. He's not out there putting times on the board. Lucas Hard was 6th place at the moment for him. He's not improved in any sectors on this lap by the look of it. There's a minute and a half left to go, so he'll still get time to do another lap. Crossing the line now in the Iveco S-Way. There on the left hand side. This is still a second off. There's nearly half a second between Vila in second place and Enrique Marcos in third as well. So, I said earlier, it was a bit of a two-horse race in the championship. Looks like it's a two-horse race in this qualifying session as well. This is Sasha Lenz, one of our real-world drivers. Has come so close to winning the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship in the last few years. He's been right in the fight. Some great battles with Jochen Hahn as well, of course, right near the top of the standings. They've raced together for a long time now, massive respect for each other, great sportsmanship. Sasha showing us what he can do in the sim as well here. Lovely purple machine, truck number 3. You can see Sasha's very, it's almost like his signature now, the completely neon green chassis rails and a roll cage in the truck. Certainly an interesting clash with the purple. Here's Jonathan Andre. He returns for this round. He wasn't with us at the Slovakia ring, but the number 44 Lion Truck Racing team are back on track in the virtual world. Currently finds himself in 21st position at the moment. I'm sure he'll still be enjoying being behind the wheel in a virtual sense. Actually got back into driving again within a different simulator last week, actually. And to be honest, I always forget until I get behind the wheel in the sim just how much fun it is, you know, the immersion of it as well. Obviously, I'm always up here in a virtual commentary box in one respect or another. So to get behind the wheel again and show people exactly why I'm a commentator and not a driver is always good fun. Is Josi Vila, number 66, currently in 7th position at the moment, just over second off. He's only a few thousandths of a second behind, of course, Lucas Hahn. But looking at Jorge Vila did 2 purple sectors on that final lap. But I don't know, I think he must have cut a chicane by way too much or something, because he was nearly 2 seconds quicker than Norby in the middle sector alone. There is Jorge Vila. The checkered flag is now out. He has completed his session. Just wait to see now if there are any improvements further down. Marcos into the pits. Josi Vila into the pits as well. Jari Stark in the 31 Freightliner. Jari was involved in a little bit of argy-bargy, to say the least, last time out. Slovakia ring. Hopefully no more of that today, but this is truck racing. There will be contact. They are massive machines running on Grand Prix circuits that are obviously made for cars, essentially. But we certainly have a good time doing this here in the Digital Racing Challenge. Across the line goes David West, truck number 38. He tries to improve, does 1:57.820, and that was his best time in the end. But it didn't help him gain any positions. 32 trucks on the grid, and it's that man there, Norbert Kish, that will start from pole position once again here in the first race of the night. And let's not forget that for race 2 of the evening, we have a reverse grid. So the top 8 finishers in the first race will then have their grid positions all completely swapped around for the second encounter of the night. And then they have to do all of the hard work again. It's always interesting to see when we get different winners in races 1 and 2, which we have had this season. Norbert Kish and Lucas Hahn in the first race meeting at the Hungaroring, and then last time out Norbert Kish and Enrique Marcos taking the second win of the night. And it was great to see Enrique get that win as well, because he had a real tough time at the start of the season, doing so well at the Hungaroring, but it was just contact and incidents here and there that thwarted his progress, so to speak. And he's been able to grab a win and at least get some big points on the board now to throw himself back up into the fight. 4th in the championship, as I said. He's only 33 points behind Norbert Kirsch. He's 1 point ahead of Lucas Hahn as well. So he should be in for a good night if he continues on his current pace. We just wait now for all of the trucks to take to the grid. The session will tick over, as we say. It will change from qualifying to the race, and then everybody will be put onto the grid. So like I said, it's 12 lap races here. That accommodates for the green flag lap essentially as well, where the trucks will be all led around. So you will see the lights go out as if it is a standing start, but that's when the drivers will manually sort of take charge and get themselves on a green flag lap, but like a pace lap, so to speak. We have a couple of minutes now as a countdown, as everybody just gets set up on the grid, make sure that final adjustments are made. A few of the drivers ended their qualifying session already sat in the pit lane for a few minutes, but sometimes they can just go away from their sim racing rig, go and get a drink, just one final toilet break, for example, before you get going. And now we're all sat on the grid, this very bright and beautiful grid just before us here. It's Norbert Kish and Jorge Vila on the front row, the top 2 in the championship, and they are hoping to extend whatever gaps they may have behind them and strengthen their initial championship charge. There is a drop round for the championship as well, so basically your worst score is taken away to give everybody a bit more of a fair chance. And obviously it means as well that here in sim racing we always agree that real life comes first. Sometimes there may be other commitments, whether it's work or family related, that mean that drivers can't turn up for these race meetings and they're kept busy elsewhere. And to sort of help accommodate that and mean that it doesn't write people off from a certain position in the championship, drop score is implemented to ensure that it can be as close as possible. On the right-hand side of the shot there, you can see just behind the number 14, the yellow Mercedes, is Robin Kroithoff in that fantastic Scania T-Cab. He's become a bit of a legend in that thing, to be honest. He's currently 3rd in the championship at this moment. And he'll definitely want to get ahead of the 2 trucks just in front of him, Cornel Berquez and especially Enrique Marcos, because he knows that Enrique, especially after last season, will be a big threat to what he can do in the championship. We have 2 minutes left to go here before the trucks will all get rolling. You can see a bit further down the order, 24th place is John Newell, another one of the real world drivers here. Going to be taking part in his number 18 MAN, painted as it is in the real world in the same livery. It's great to have the mix of real world drivers and sim racing drivers. And as we've seen actually in the first 2 race meetings, there's fantastic respect in both directions. It's not a one-way street. You know, the drivers that do this for real really showing great respect to their competitors. When there has been contact before, they have sort of backed out, let's say, and given positions back. Now, Norbert Kirsch has just popped into the pit lane, it looks like. His truck disappeared for just a second then, and has still disappeared on the disappeared from the grid, I should say. Very interesting moment there. Not sure if he needed to reset something. So what will happen is, if he doesn't come back in time, then he will have to start from the pit lane and try and make his way through. Now, as we've seen, there has been quite a lot of contact and fantastic close racing at the back of the pack in these situations. So he'd have a lot to fight his way through. But yeah, he'll be able to start from the pit lane and join the back of the train, but he would not be allowed to drive all the way through on the green flag lap and start from the front. So let's see, because he's not got long now. He's only got about 20 seconds. on this countdown before he can jump in. Oh, he's only got 20 seconds left to jump in. And the lights are coming on. Wow. So Norbert Kish from pole position will have to start from the pit lane if he comes back in. He's disconnected from the server. Not sure if that's just a disconnect. Well, I imagine he wouldn't have done that on purpose. It would have been a disconnection at his end. But our pole sitter, of all the trucks in the field, of all of the 32 of them that we have, it was our pole sitter, current European champion Norbert Kish, has disconnected. And yeah, he's actually, as Giro has just pointed out, he is the reigning digital challenge champion as well. So big implications there. We now wait for the rest of them to go. I can tell you that he has loaded into the server and he is joining from the pit lane onto the circuit now. But it's going to be Jorge Vila that will be the man to beat from the front. Norbert has to wait there, or no, he's reset to the pit lane once again. Not sure if he gets going now or whether he gets going after that. We'll have to wait and see. But you've got Marcos alongside him, then Berkes and Kreuthoff on the second row. Then we've got Lucas Hahn and Josi Vila. Yeah, the point just made by Giro there is that Norbert Kish, if he does wait for the start of the race, then because this counts, what they're doing now is this green flag lap does count as a lap of the race. We can't set it for a rolling start here in Assetto Corsa, so what we're doing is having a standing start for them to do the green flag lap and then get racing. But if Norbert waits here, he's going to be an entire lap down on the field. Now he is getting going, so he was clearly just changing something. Okay, so Giro has just told me, everybody, that Norbert was waiting for the start, but he's just had it explained that, of course, he needs to get cracking and join the back of this train, so he is moving now. But we have to keep our eye on him, our championship leader, through the field. This is a great opportunity for the likes of Jorge Vila, Enrique Marcos, even Robin Kreuthoff as well, to score big points at the front. They're already right up there in the standings. This is a free pass to some points, I'd say, over Norbert Kish. We'll have to see. There's Victor Chabados, a bit further down in 69, 25th place at this present moment. Starting right in the thick of it, the gorgeous purple, white and green machine. There's Nathan Smith. As I mentioned before, keep an eye on Nathan. He's the only driver in the right-hand drive truck in this championship. Driving the UK spec MAN. Making their way down towards the final corner, the Jackie X-Box here at the chicane. And before you know it, from the third race meeting of the season, come round the final corner, and fifth race, round 5 of the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge will be with Jorge Vila at the front. Underway. It's a fantastic launch actually by Jorge Vila, and Enrique Marcos has been swamped because on his right hand side Cornel Burkhead wants a piece of it. Josi Vila's thrown it down the inside. The 66 machine's gone deep. There's a bunch of them running a little bit wide onto the grass and the gravel on the outside. I think Burkhead has been involved in some contact, and there's a truck around at the back as well. Wow, Josi Vila really threw himself at that and caused quite an issue for them, and I think Gillian Christian's in there as well. 34 of Hegedus is trying to get away. And that's sliding through the canal box, and actually Christian's off the road to the left-hand side there. There's Josi Vila side by side with Lucas Hahn. They come out of the Lucien Bianchi box, rubbing panels. Jorge Vila continues to lead though. Marcos somehow survived that, didn't get pushed off the road. Josi Vila's going to sort of have his tail between his legs a little bit on that one. Now don't forget they need to be careful with the markers here, as Lucas goes to turn in, and Josi wanted to get out of it. You can see that he hit the brakes and hoped not to cause contact. He's now trying to squeeze down the inside again. Lucas says no. And through goes Hegedus as well, around the outside into the Villeneuve chicane. Hard on the brakes, very tough, one way then the other. Josi's there, and he has to cut the chicane to avoid contact with Hegedus. Norbert Kish is in our picture-in-picture, and he's trying to get through the pack. Having a look at where he's made it up to already. And it's only just ticking over these sectors at the moment, so give me a second and it will update. And there's trucks off there. There's, whoa, upside down, the number 69 machine completely on its side. I think David West has just had a moment as well. Norbert Kish is 22nd, so he's gained about 10 places already. Josi Vila is in a fight here with truck 77. That's Benjamin Rico Rodriguez. well on the exit there. But yeah, the number 69 machine was absolutely upside down there and well, completely flipped over. That was Victor Chabados in the Volvo FL. Certainly did fell. Gogo Balai, I think, was involved in that as well, number 86. So a busy, busy start for our drivers up and down the order, but Jorge Vila leads the way. Enrique Marcos, Robin Kuritov, Lucas Hahn, and then in 5th position, Chaba Hagedis. Reparo here in 10th, but just in front of him, Bjorn Taihu's using the knowledge that he has of this circuit to score some big points, hopefully. There's the Dutch Truck Racing Championship, which only has 2 meetings a season, I've been informed. We'll have a meeting here at Zolder, and then join, of course, the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship at the Nürburgring. But Taihu's runs wide, Reparo goes through, takes 9th place. Taihu's wants to just hold on to a top 10 here, nearly contact in front actually. Reparo's trying to go side by side with the 77, they're leaning on each other, there's more and more contact. Oh, it's got a little bit silly there, gentlemen. You can say the 77 at first wasn't giving the room on the right hand side to Reparo. Reparo tried to repay the favour. Unfortunately, it resulted in contact. Hopefully it doesn't happen again as the race goes on. They've been throwing it into the Villeneuve chicane. Angel Reparo is one of the quickest drivers in the series. Very, very rapid driver indeed. Wow, what a busy start here at Zolder for round 5 of the championship. Lucas Hahn is right behind Kuritov, who locks up the brakes. You can see all of the smoke in the world coming up the back axle of that Scania. So just continuing to fill his mirrors. We then have Enrique Marcos 2nd place, but Jorge Vila's got a 3.5 second lead right now. He is disappearing over the horizon. Norbert Kish, can tell you, is up into 17th place. He's just passed Don Newell. He's got a big battle in front of him here. Looks like a lot of contact. Nathan Smith's involved in that, is he? No, it's not. Sorry, it's Jose Maria Rosa that's in that one. And there's trucks off the road, 92 sideways. The 16's involved in that as well. Norbert Kish wants to try and just get around these guys without any issue, but he's got Yari Stark and Gillian Christian knocking 7 panels off each other. John Newell wants a bit of that as well. Truck 64's involved. That's Cornel Burkes. He's had a very tough time. Oh, Jose Maria Rosa throws it at Yari Stark's Freightliner. And more contact on the exit, and the 33 is completely sideways now as well. That's German Tobias Martinez. This is just bonk stuff. Norby has actually overtaken half of the field. 1 lap, effectively. He's gone so quickly towards the front of the order. He'll find himself in 15th place though, but this still feels like it's just inside the top 10. That's how talented this field is. So many of the drivers that are right up there usually are in amongst all of these battles, interspersed with drivers that are having a really good night so far, but we're only 3 laps in at this point. Enrique Marcos holds on, well, I was going to say holds on to 2nd place, but Lucas Hahn has gone past Marcos and Kuritov in just a matter of seconds here. Not quite sure what on earth has happened to Lucas Hahn. Maybe some contact or something, because the guys were really chasing Enrique very quickly. Not much of an overlap there, gentlemen. Goodness me, that is close as you like as they get into the hairpin known as Boulderberg Bocht. Oh, a little bit of contact behind as well. Jose Vila, a bit of a hip check there from Hagedis, truck number 34. Wow, very busy start. Unfortunately, there may have been contact involved that knocked Marcos down behind these guys. Norbert Kish now ahead of Yari Stark. Yari certainly drew attention to himself a little bit at the Slovakia ring with the contact with Nathan Smith that caused quite a large accident. Hopefully no more of that behaviour here today. He knows that the stewards will have their eyes on him. Using Maria Rosa right here. There is only a small gap between Norby and Jose Maria Rosa. As I mentioned before though, and as Hero has just pointed out, you can definitely see a difference in how the drivers are affecting or attacking these chicanes with the penalty markers. Look at the run that Norbert Kish gets there on Jose Maria Rosa. Puts his nose down the inside. Jose says not in your life. Only gives him the minimal amount of room that he needs to be there. The MAN completely side by side now with the Scania. So close. as they go towards the Lucien Bianchi box, and Norby has the inside line. Goes just going a little bit deep there actually. Might come under attack from Yari Stark in truck 31 just behind. Here we go, we'll see what Norby uses in terms of all of the road, or not much of it here with the markers. There you go, look, hitting the curbs, nice and tidy. Over the crest of the hill he goes. We'll stay with him and have a look at what this chicane's like. Down to the Villeneuve chicane. Goes in Maria Rosa, got an almighty run out of there. I'm not sure if he did cut the chicane or not. Here again, look, just perfectly glancing those markers. Norby knows exactly where to do that. It's been a bit of a move in front here, because there is Rico Rodriguez losing time and losing ground. And Norby's just going to sweep by on the right hand side. Just ahead of them is the number 16 of Gillian Christian. One of Norbert's teammates, importantly, as well, for Revèche Sim Racing in that dark green. They may be in slightly different liveries, but the logos and the overall design is almost the same on the trucks. Now, all of a sudden, Rodriguez finds himself side by side with Jose Maria Rosa. Jorge Vila does the fastest lap of the race. That is then quickly taken away from him by Lucas Hahn, who goes quicker as there's contact. Sideways is Rosa, just about making it through the chicane, but he's hitting a penalty marker and he's been tipped around. 1, 2, 3, round she goes. Jose Maria Rosa is pitched into a spin by Benjamin Rico Rodriguez. That will have not gone down well in Rosa's world. Look here at Sasha Lenz. Sasha was involved actually early on in an incident, so he's been affected by that. It's all just in front of that actually. John Newell there getting absolutely shoulder barged out of the way by truck number 64, Cornel Burquez. Oh, more contact as well with the 92 of Valentin Nechtel. Sasha Lenz takes advantage of that. He goes down the inside. Martinez is there as well, wanting a piece of the pie. Gets thrown into this quartet, battling down towards the Kleiner chicane. Love the look of that 92 Mercedes. I'm sure from where he is right now, Sasha Lenz does not. He wants it to be out of the way, out of sight. Real chicane they go. Look how close and tidy they go to those markers. I've been told that the SG Stern branding on the number 92 machine is actually the sporting group of Mercedes, so it's quite an official livery to have on the racing truck, which is lovely to see. He carries a lot of their official colours on it. Great branding though, it looks awesome. Love a black racing truck, they just look mega. It just adds some sort of, they look heavier than all the other trucks on the circuit when they're in white. It just looks really cool. Obviously with the very angry headlights of the Mercedes Actros. You see on the road, a little bit wide there on the exit for Nechtel. Oh, Angel Rapera comes into shot sideways. Oh, Jonathan Andre has gone flying through the back of the number 34 machine. Okay, but yeah, as Giro pointed out, it looked like there was a bit of a connection issue there, because he didn't make contact with Bjorn Teichhuis in front. He just sort of morphed through the number 51 machine. I imagine Bjorn will be buying a lottery ticket at his next available opportunity after that one, because that could have been a huge hit to ruin what might be still, at this point, a solid result for Bjorn, the Dutch driver. Possibly my favourite looking truck on the grid as well, that DAF. Absolutely amazing looking thing, especially in that livery as well. It's so retro. He's got Norbert Kirsch right now in the rear view mirror. He might like the red on the front of his truck, but he won't like the red on the front of Norbert's truck right now, with it filling pixels on his screen. There's Rapero. He's still in 7th place. It's still Jorge Vila leading the way, then Hahn, Marcos Kroitov, and then Josi Vila. I thought Marinas is doing well actually, in 6th place. Great defending there by Teichhuis. Keeps the truck on the inside, parks it on the apex, avoids the corner markers, and does a lovely job. But Norby's got a great run out there. Around the outside goes Baloo, the MAN. He's going to dive down the inside on the brakes. He's got the commanding position into the chicane, although he's a little bit hot into there. That means that Teichhuis can't do anything on the exit. The 16 machine right with them as well, Gillian Christian. He tries to make a move. Doesn't quite work for him there. This is busy stuff here at Zolder. This is great fun. We hope you're enjoying the show, everybody. He's certainly made his race a lot more interesting for himself, though. Having to fight through from the back of the pack. We're not sure whether it's a disconnect or something else technical that caused that issue earlier on. That meant that he had to start from the pit lane. Apparently the PC froze actually, so yeah, he's unfortunately crashed, so he had to jump back in, but he didn't get back in time for the warm-up lap. Lucas Hahn, fastest lap of the race. Then it gets taken away by Marcos, then by Kroitov, so they're getting quicker and quicker at the front of the field. The lead gap is 2.8 seconds for Jorge Vila. If he can hold on to that ahead of Lucas, by even if he's losing a few tenths a lap, he should be okay here. He's got great pace, and he's certainly shown that before. Don't actually think he's taken a race victory though this season. Actually, no. He and Robin Kroitov both inside the top 3 positions in the championship, but with no race victories at all at the moment. Lucas Hahn has had 1. He's had 4 top 10 finishes, but only twice has Lucas been in the top 5 this season. Gergo Balai's actually been in the top 5 3 times so far this season, but he's 8th in the standings, so he's not had the consistency, let's say, of some of the other drivers. Lucas Hahn just going through the Villeneuve chicane again. Looks nice and tidy, doesn't it? He's taken a lot of time out of Vila in this opening sector, actually. Makes his way down now towards the Boulderberg box. Hairpin at the end of the lap. Such a difficult corner because you feel like you've stopped completely when you go around it. No matter what speed you're doing there, well, unless you flat out into the wall, it feels like you're going way too slow on the way in. So by the time you get into the corner, it doesn't feel like you're improving at all, but you just have to tell yourself, just stay on the brakes, just trail brake it in there, do what you need to do, get it stopped, and it'll be fine. As long as you make the corner, it's all good. Got Hilagi, yeah, it is Hilagi, just behind Jonathan Andre there in the number 55. It's his first appearance this season. Very sideways as well. He knows he's on camera. He's showing off. Having a nice little drift there in the 55 MAN. Lovely livery as well, actually. Really good looking machine, that is. And oh dear, there's been a big shunt in front. Is that the... No, I thought it was actually Jose Maria Rosa for a second. That is Henry Tyhus in number 15. Effectively a home race, this. All the 15 here at Zolder because of the Dutch Truck Racing Championships participation. Oh no, Henry backs it into the wall and it bounces horribly for him. Henry's I'm not sure what he did this morning or whether he's done something naughty, but karma I think got him there in some way or another, not sure. But unfortunately Henry there backing into the barrier and then into the pit lane. Sasha Lenz here in 14th place. Cornel Burkes with Netzel filling up his rearview mirrors. Got Burkes himself actually trying to get ahead of Benjamin Rico Rodriguez. That's the big bright yellow number 77 machine. And we've been told that we have heard from race control. Oh, excuse me, contact there, and Sasha Lenz tries to take advantage, bounces off the side of Burkes. Almost gets stuck in the gravel, but there was a little touch there between Burkes and Rodriguez. Actually tried to just sneak through and take advantage, but no, bounced off the side. We've been told by race control that Lucas Hahn will get a penalty for hitting the penalty markers. That's going to get looked at, and I tell you what, Sasha's going to... Well, if Sasha sees an orange truck on the highway anytime soon, he's going to probably try and push it out of the way. Okay, just goes flying into the side of him now. Causes even more issues. Urban team certainly won't be on Sasha's Christmas card list this year, and it's only February, so they've got a long time to make up for it. But wow, I'll be happy with them after the last couple of corners. Lucas Hahn, fastest lap of the race. Gap is now down to, well, I was going to say 1.5 seconds, and in the last few moments it's gone down to 1.1 seconds. We've got a truck moving out of the way there. I think it's the number 69 machine just diving out of the way of Victor Chabados and the Volvo. It is. He had that incident earlier on, so he is 1 lap down, everybody. We're on lap 10 out of 12 here at Zolder in round number 5. 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge. We're going to keep our eye on Lucas and see how many penalties he wants to get, because they will accumulate, I should say. They add up and they add up. We didn't get the brief. Let's have a look. No, that's, yeah, absolutely smashing them. So the rule is basically if the bollard is not visible from the outside of the truck, if he's just gone through it and it goes through the cab, then that counts as a strike against you. And Lucas has done that. Well, there's another example. And yeah, he's going to continue to do that by the look of it, and he will get a telling off. So time gets added on at the end of the race though. So it's between the races, we should say, sorry. We don't do it live in the session, so we'll only hear about those penalties afterwards when we get to the next race meeting as such. So it's 3 times through a marker you get warnings, and then on the 4th offence you get 20 seconds post-race added on. So Lucas may not even be in the top 10 at this point because it is still pretty close at this moment. Miguel Reparo here chasing Marinas. We've not seen much of Marinas actually here. He was involved in a lot of really cool battles at the Slovakia ring. Didn't always end in the most savoury way. Reparo certainly had a bit of a rough time as well at Slovakia ring. Got bumped about a little bit. But these guys are just going to hope to keep this clean as we go into the final couple of laps. The stopping power of these trucks is fantastic though. The way they make that final chicane looks so easy. A little bit of a bump and a bounce on the exit. Here in the middle is Vivian Christian. Start finish straight. There you go. It sounds fantastic though as they power past us. Turn 1, Christian just leaning on the right hand side of that MAN. He's got the very menacing Jari Stark behind him, the highest position Freightliner in the field. Pretty different manufacturers here. It's great to see a DAF back out there on the circuit in the form of Bjorn Teichhuis's number 51 machine. Kish is just ahead of this battle, 5 seconds. Looking now at the gaps between the drivers, Enrique Marcos is 11 seconds behind Jorge Vila and Lucas Hahn. Robin Kruithoff in 4th place is only about 8 tenths behind him. A nice little battle here with Nechtel chasing down 64 Cornel Burquez. Still all over the back of him though as they go down towards the Villeneuve chicane. It's a very tricky braking zone now because while you are quite a long way past the long smooth left curve, the truck still has a lot of momentum to try and drag to the left hand side. So you get on the brakes and the back end you try and go right, and it's a very tough thing to try and overcome when you do want the rest of the truck to go right, but obviously on the back end. So it's not an easy place to get these things settled and then turned into a corner. But Nechtel all over the back of Burquez right now. 64. They're in the view back. We love this camera angle. Giro and I were discussing this before the broadcast. It looks absolutely awesome. Really shows you the height and the size of these machines. Oh, they're way down the start finish straight. They always run really close to the wall here at Zolder as well. I remember there's a small post that sticks out a little bit further than the rest of the barrier, and we've had trucks go down there before so close to it that the wing mirror was above the wall, but the rest of the truck was still actually just leaning against it. It was amazing. The wing mirrors actually got clipped against this pole on the barrier and fell off. They run that close. There's Jari Stark in all forms of style, hangs the back end out on his truck through the right-hander. Didn't quite work for him. Exactly the best way to carry the speed. Look at Norbert Kish gone up the road from these guys. But Bjorn Teichhuis is doing a great job of holding on to this position at the moment. I say that though, touch wood for him, that he can defend this because he's got Christian all over the back of him. Really tiny through the chicane. And that is the limit of what they can do. Here is your race leader, Jorge Vila. He's got a bit of a gap over Lucas Hahn, but the eagle-eyed of you would have noticed earlier that Lucas got ahead for a moment and then behind and then lost a lot of time. So I'm not sure if there was Lucas trying to send it into a chicane and overdid it. But this is the final corner of the race. It's all working upon us. That's really snuck under my radar. 12 laps, and it's truck number 12 that takes the win here at Zolder. It's Jorge Vila getting the job done in the first race of the day. He'll be over the moon with that one. Lucas Hahn, well, second on the road. How long will he be considered in second place outright? Then it's Enrique Marcos Next up, Robin Kreutoff finishes in 4th place. Big points for his championship there. Those guys will be happy with that because it certainly looked like it was going to get a bit hairy in the opening moments. We then get Josi in 5th position, I should say, ahead of Aitor Marinas. He gets some. That's a very good set of points actually for Marinas because, like I said last time out, he didn't have the easiest of nights at the Slovakia ring. Then it was Angel Repero in 7th place. Norbert Kish, well, he importantly finishes in 8th position, which puts him on pole position for race number 2 of the evening. Then it's Gillian Christian and Cornel Berkes, the 2 Hungarian drivers, completing our top 10. Then it's Valentin Nechtel ahead of Benjamin Rico Rodriguez. John Newell finishes in 13th place, and quick points for John. And then Chava Hagedis next up. 2 urban trucks doing some drifting together. Sasha Lenz in 15th place ahead of Gergo Balai, who we just saw a moment ago. And then we have German Tobias Martinez in 17th ahead of Gula Zentai. Apologies for getting your name wrong earlier, Gula. Then we have Bastian Donker and Jonathan Andre completing the top 20. New driver to the championship, Janos, I believe it's Shilagi. I think it's Shilagi. And then we have Andreas Wagner, Vincent Lahost. He's actually back once again. We didn't see much of him in that race in the number 28 machine. And then truck 17, which is Norbert Juhasz, Hendrik Niech, Nathan Smith after that big incident earlier on, down towards the back. Victor Chabados, Bjorn Tyhus, Jari Stark, and Henry Tyhus for company. So something happened to Bjorn Tyhus at the end of that race, I believe, that I may have missed. I do apologise, everybody. But Bjorn was right inside the top 10 and unfortunately dropped down a lot of places, classified 29th at the end. Doesn't even say that he's finished the race. So maybe too little fuel, Giro is pointing out behind the scenes. So you never know with these things, but it's a great win for Jorge Villa. Doubt that Lucas Hahn will hold that position, unfortunately, afterwards. So you could effectively say that Enrique Marcos and Robin Kreutoff have a podium each. But like we said, between race meetings, sorry, not between races as in this race and the one that's going to come up in a few minutes, there will be the penalties applied. So we'll have to keep our eyes on what happens there. Obviously give you an update when we can. Aitor Marinas will be very pleased with that. 13 is unlucky for some, but that number tonight has certainly proved lucky to him. Valentin Nechtel as well, right in the thick of it in the Mercedes. It's a huge shame to not have the DAF of Tyhus up there in the fight. As you see, the session just ticked over there to the next one, so everything will get set up. We'll have the drivers ready on the grid, and we will then move on very shortly. What we're just going to do here, though, is take a quick minute or so break just to have a look over things and make sure everything's all ready to go. I need to get myself another drink because I've completely eradicated my other one, and we'll be back with you very, very soon, everybody. See you in a sec. That was a fantastic look at the highlights of a very busy first race of the night here at Zolder in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge. Chaz Draycott up here in the virtual commentary box with the wonderful Gero Mulkow on direction duties this evening. And we hope you're all having a great night and have had a great weekend. We've got one more race left to go, and it almost looks like this should be the grid for race one. Norbert Kish on pole position, Angel Reparo alongside him. But that's because the top 8 from the first race of the night get reversed for this one. But it was Jorge Vila and Lucas Hahn that took first and second ahead of Marcos and Kroitov. But Lucas Hahn will potentially be receiving a lot of time penalties after that first race based on the penalty marker cuts that were going on through the chicane. Hopefully, between races, he's got the memo and we will not see any of the same, basically. We'll have to see what happens. But we have just a couple of minutes now before the drivers get going. Actually, just 1 minute left before they get going on their green lap, or green flag lap, I should say. And we have, by the look of it, all 31 drivers on the grid for this second race of the night. We'll have to do the maths and figure out where the discrepancy lies, everybody. But we have 12 laps ready to go here at Zolder in effectively what is round 6 of the championship, the 6th race. I'm still very, very old-fashioned with my racing and call them all rounds. Lucas has apparently got the message, and now he knows what he's got to be doing with these chicanes. We'll have to see how well he does at climbing back up through the order from 7th. So you'll see the lights come on and then go out. That will just start the green flag lap for us here at Zolder. Norbert Kish, Angel Reparo, and Aitor Marinas in truck number 13. It's been a good night so far for Marinas as he gets going from the line. He's got his countryman Josi Vila next to him. The two Vilas out there inside the top 8 as well, both doing a good job so far. There's Sasha Lenz in the purple number 3 machine in the middle of the pack. And the whole field makes its way away. It's Norbert Kish at the front. Like I say, we usually expect to see this at the start of the first race of the night when Norby has qualified on pole position. But this time round, he's benefited from the reverse grid after that epic drive back through the order in the first race. I think he was 22nd by the end of the first lap and then 15th by the end of lap 2. It was an awesome drive. We're hoping that this one is a much easier encounter, let's say, than the first one. There is Bjorn Tyhus. He's hoping that he can have a Norbert Kish-like drive through the order in this one. We've not seen him do it before on factual evidence, but you know, Bjorn has got the experience and the pace over some of the drivers around him in the field here, it's safe to say. So he was comfortably inside the top 10 in that first race. We'll have to see how he gets on. Lovely, beautiful, colourful field though. Something we really are blessed with in this championship. And obviously in the world of sim racing you don't have to worry about the cost of re-wrapping or designing a very complicated livery on your racing trucks. Some really out there designs that are very busy and very crazy. We get to look at them. What more could you want? There's the number 17, Norbert Uhash, the MAN with the real old school lights down at the bottom. It's a real old model of this machine. Number 28 just next to him there, which was Vincent Lahost. It is truck 1, P1. It's Norbert Kish that will lead them away for the 6th race of the season. Angel Reparo alongside him. Angel is going to be very eager to prove a point and get some big points. At the moment, Reparo is 9th in the standings, racing for himself as well. He's not really associated to a team inside this team's championship. But round 6 of the 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge is underway. I'm sure you can all forgive me. I've said it enough times by now. Reparo has Marinas down the inside, and the number 13 tries the dive. Lots of room and respect that time round, though. Jose really went in like a missile first time and went a little bit wrong. Nextel had a bit of a slide in the background, but there is Jorge Vila with Lucas Hahn alongside. Nextel is still having an accident. He's still on the grass, and I think he's been pushed out even further wide. He's lost more places. 64 is off the road. The number 64 machine is around, and John Newell is sideways as well. John Newell dropping down the order after that contact. I think the 64 machine ended up just about recovering from that. That was Cornel Burkes. I keep getting himself and his teammate mixed up in amongst all that. Chabados and Taihus have had issues as well, unfortunately. They're still around. Newell is involved in the accident. There's a lot of the Victor Chabados. Trip 69, the Volvo is there. There is Jorge Vila down the inside of Enrique Marcos. Says, just go and check that penalty marker is still there for me, please, mate. Enrique Marcos. They go down towards the second chicane, then the Villeneuve chicane. Number 16, Gillian Christian, side by side with Lucas Hahn. This time having to adapt his racing line to what he had before. Another busy start here at Zolder. I told you it was going to be frantic, this one. Robbie Kruitov is now ahead of, well, Jorge Vila is just overtaking Jose Vila, actually. I think there was a tiny touch between this and the front end of the number 66 MAN. This looks like the very front of the field, but if you just look in the background there, you'll see a big red truck disappearing over the horizon again. And if you are familiar with the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, you'll have known to look for that already. But still, great stuff by Norbert Kish in the opening round. He had to make this race work. Now we'll have to see what his competitors can do. There's a bit of a push from Reparo on Marinas, and he's pushed him off at the chicane. Robbie Kruitov, how did you squeeze that Scania round there, Sunshine? Oh, Reparo says he's not squeezing the Scania anywhere. Chad, watch this. Jorge Vila moves over to the right-hand side. There's 4 trucks in about space big enough for one at the moment. Brake latest. Who's going to dare to brake latest? Kruitov's got Marinas around his outside, tries to keep it tucked in. There's a tiny bit of contact on the exit. I'm almost holding my breath. But Robin Kruitov manages to sneak through. Marinas says, I don't really like that, to be honest. I kind of want to have another go at it. More contact between Reparo and Vila. Vila's now trying to push Marinas around the outside of him. He says, get on with it. If you're going to sit there, you need to move. They're all together. Oh, there's contact, and Jose Vila's around. Enrique Marcos has hit Jose Vila. He's bounced off the barriers. I'm not sure if he's been involved with anybody else. I'm trying to check the track map just to see. I think he got away with any further contact, but no, there was a big hit there. Went into the barrier, and look, yeah, he's actually side by side with Enrique Marcos. I'm not sure if Enrique was giving the position back in sportsmanship. That would be lovely to see. But he's now got himself under attack from Sasha Lenz. Goes side by side through the chicane, has to hit the penalty marker. Agadis has got a great front row seat for this. This is amazing racing. It's all over the place. This is just how fun sim racing can be with all of these guys. Such a close field, massive machines, tiny circuit. This is just epic fun on a Sunday night. Great way to get yourself up for a boring week of work, isn't it, everybody? Sasha Lenz in 10th place, still in amongst it as well. It'd be great to hear what these the real world drivers think of the sim racing talent as well, because it'd be awesome to see what they can do in the real thing. Get a grid this size as well. And then again, I'd have to ask them to pay me double if they had a grid like this. I'd never be able to keep my eye on it. I can't do that here. We've got the Ravage teammates as well, just further back there, which is Bala and Christian, 13th and 14th positions. Those two are glued to each other with Suarez Martinez just behind them in Scania. This guy's collecting points. He teamed up with Norbert Kish, the Ravage Sim Racing team. Well, I think actually, I'm not sure if Gillian Christian is actually teamed up with him this season. The livery is very similar. I'm not sure actually, because he doesn't have. I think it said that it was Never Stop Racing as the slogan, or the team name at least. Anyway, we'll gloss over that. But it's just one humongous snake of trucks once again here, like we saw at the Slovakia ring. It's Norbert Kish off in a different postcode, and then everybody else in one big train. This is Robin Kruitov's teammate, Donker, just trying to go round the outside, and he's going to donk off the side of Smith's truck if he doesn't be too careful around there. Smith trying to hold that inside line, and whoa, more of a slide there from Donker. Moves over to the right a little bit, just those contacts, and Nathan Smith goes through. Right-hand drive, he won't have cared what was going on over on the left. he now makes another place. He's up into 18th now. Nathan Smith, he's going well, and wow, Angel Reparo gets a demon run out of the chicane and just waves goodbye to Robin Kreuthoff as they go down towards the Villeneuve chicane. That was almighty from Reparo. He just jumped to the shot. I didn't register whether he'd actually hit the penalty markers, but there's a moment there where he's definitely got them. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if Reparo is the one now who's missed the memo for this race. This is livelier than lively, this. Flat out stuff. And we're only on lap 4 out of 12 here in round number 6 at Zolder. Nathan Smith gets ahead of Andreas Wagner in truck number 89. So Smith continues to gain places and obviously gain points as this goes on. Battle in the background there, I think, with Jose Villa and Rico Rodriguez side by side. Yeah, it's been confirmed Angel Reparo has been completely flying through those markers at the chicane, so we'll have to keep our eye on his behaviour. But there he was fine through that final chicane, so maybe it's just the smaller, sharper ones we'll have to see. Across the straight line he goes, or across the start-finish line he goes. And the key thing here with the drivers is that they keep their heads in the game here. If drivers are doing that, putting the markers, they need to not stoop to it. They need to remember that at the end of the day they could end up with penalties if they do it so much. So even though Robin could sit there now and see Angel Reparo hitting those markers, as long as he keeps his head in the game and he doesn't do it himself, he can still actually get the position back post-race when the assessment is done over the penalty markers. Here is Sasha Lenz and Enrique Marcos. Sasha adding a bit of flamboyance to his right-hander there, moving the back end out on the MAN. Chasing down the Mercedes, which isn't something he's done in the real world for a long time. Great to see such a variety of manufacturers here in this race and in this series as well. Obviously the sim racing side of things gives drivers such freedom. They need to actually agree or build these trucks. They can just jump in them, don't need manufacturer support of any kind, just crack on. Now you can see the difference. Look, Lucas is not going anywhere near those penalty markers. He's in his head, he's just treating them as landmines. He doesn't want to go anywhere near them at this moment. He's got Aitor Marinas right in front of him. Marinas is having a really strong run this evening. Like I said, he had a real horror night at Slovakia Ring. He kept gaining place after place after place, but then there was just contact, unnecessary contact here and there. It really let him down as Jose Villa and I believe Benjamin Rico Rodriguez having a bit of argy-bargy into the hairpin, and through goes Enrique Marcos. He says thank you very much, my fellow yellow truck enthusiast. Lenz sitting in 10th place. He fancies a look down the inside now. Oh, a little move over to the right to make sure he doesn't sharpen the corner up too much. Just gives Rico Rodriguez a little bit of a kiss on the rear of the truck to say I'm still here, not going anywhere. And down in the start-finish straight. Don't worry, that boost gauge it's fine. It doesn't mean that he's got no turbo at the moment. That's not a key indicator. He is all good. Here's Sasha Lenz. He's got all the power he needs in this truck right now. You can see the way the steering works here. They can be so incremental for that first sort of 5%, and then it's all lock, but you've got to be very smooth in how you apply it. Because the tyres, in terms of how thick the tyres are, vertically I should say, and the actual contact patch on the road, you have to be very slow in your initial rotation. You can't throw them in like a GT car or a touring car. They're all very smooth driving in truck racing. That's what makes Norby so amazing at it, you know, the style. Just nice. Here's Jorge Villa, 4th place, chasing down Robin Kreuthoff in front. Can't see from this angle, but you've obviously got the long nose on the Scania. This is how the corner markers look from where the drivers are as well. You can see just how accurate these guys are. It's beautiful to watch. No corner marker on the inside there, but if you cut that, there's a huge sausage curve there. It really upset you. I've seen they can't say the word sausage by the look of it, but it will absolutely kill your momentum if you hit that too hard. You saw a little bit of it there for Jorge Villa. A lot of smoke on the back of Robin Kreuthoff's truck. Again, he's always locking the rears on that machine. I'm not quite sure if it's a slight difference in the centre of gravity. It's a little bit longer at the front as the Scania T-cab, but it's actually about the same sort of distance. They can, same sort of distance from the front to the back, but they can change the brake bias on these things. So you can have a more rearward bias, then it will sort of drag the truck backwards, and it's usually a little bit more oversteering like that, but at the end of the day you don't want to be understeering like crazy, locking up the fronts as well, because then you will literally go in a straight line. We saw that big incident earlier on in the first race where he went straight on. Any of that. Here is Nechtel, 92 in the Mercedes, just trying to get ahead of the Iveco of Shaba Agedas. Nathan Smith tries to make another move. He's looking down the inside of Gaman Tobias Martinez. 33. He's got Jonathan Andre behind him as well. Lion Truck Racing Machine, truck number 44. To move further forward, maybe benefit from this battle. We'll have to see. They now head towards the Lucian Bianchi box while this battle continues into the chicane. Robin Kroitov definitely running a rearward bias as he flings the Scania through the penalty markers. Now, Jorge Vila can smell blood in the water here. Already got enough blue vinyl on his own truck though, he doesn't need to borrow any more from Robin's machine. They are so close to each other on the brakes. Still on the penalty marker on the second part of the chicane. There's that big curve, you can see it just slightly pushes them wide. And this is the third position at this present moment. And they are glued to each other. Jorge Vila is all over the back of Robin Kroitov. Is a little bit later on the brakes. Now Robin's got smoke coming from the rear tyres, he says. What a save that is by Robin Kroitov. Still makes the corner. Now Jorge's giving him the carry on, or sorry, not the carry on. He's giving him the hurry up, let's say. And look at that, Kroitov puts the truck right in the middle of the road, exactly where it needs to be. Gives him a bit of the 007 smoke screen and says, right, I'm just going to get the run out of the corner now. And off he goes. From the outside here, it looks so much smaller than the Scania. It doesn't have a lot of the sort of flicks and arches that the other trucks do. It looks very basic from an aerodynamics point of view. But just, it's such a cool machine. I don't want to call it little because it's colossal and it's very beefy. But at the same time, all the extra bodywork on Jorge Vila's MAN just makes it look that bit bigger. Around the right hand we go. Nice and tidy. You can see that they sort of float the truck. They let the back end step out slightly as they put the power down. They don't let it slide out too much because once you get past a certain level of scrubbing the tyre sideways, it just really, really kills the momentum. But you can still get away with a little bit of it so long as the angle is quite shallow. Looking down the inside there is Gergo Balai trying to get a move done on Valentin Nechtel. Truck 92 also trying to get past Chava Gadas. Also ahead of them have number 7, so 7, which is Benjamin Rico Rodriguez, another one of the MANs. There's a lot of variants of the MAN TGSs here based on the bodywork. Case uses the D variant. Balai and Christian, 86 and 16, as we see through shot there, use the same one. And down the inside goes Gergo Balai. Lovely move on Nechtel. A little bit of contact on the way in. Nechtel needs to turn in at some point, but at the same time, Balai did everything fairly there, I'd say, by the book down the inside. Not so much about the contact on the exit as Gillian Christian says, off you go, Valentin. Soon sees his teammate go through and gets slightly inspired by it. But I think Balai was good there, down the inside, nice and tidy. I think Nechtel wanted to try and squeeze him to the inside a little bit to make sure he didn't run too wide, but it's never easy to the Villeneuve chicane, and at the end of the day they're trying to fit 2 5-ton trucks through there, let alone 2 sort of Formula cars or GT cars, which are a different kettle of fish. Still, here is a move a bit further up, that's Enrique Marcos, gets a great run out of the final chicane, gets along the side, Josi Vila, 66. There is Vila and Vila. Picture in picture, you have Jorge Vila trying to attack Robin Kroitov. Robin again defending like just I honestly cannot put into words. Robin's defensive drives have been amazing. We saw it in the very first season of this, and he's just getting better and better every time. Continues to hold back Jorge Vila. And this, yeah, as pointed out by Giro, this is actually his home track as well. This is the first one where he actually raced this Scania for real as well. This was where he made his debut in that machine. He's down the inside, one way then the other, and he's still got that position. Jorge Vila's got fantastic traction off the corner, but he just just can't get it to go through. He just cannot make the move work. He's going to try and swoop around the outside into the Villeneuve chicane, but Kreutzhoff, no, puts the truck right in the middle of the road. He's not doing anything naughty about it. He's just putting it perfectly, because it means that Jorge Villar would have to make a very compromising manoeuvre, put himself in a risky situation to try and get through. And at the end of the day, Villar doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to throw away championship points. It'd be the safest option for him to sit there right now, just a few places behind Norbert Kirsch, and he would just get decent championship points and close in on the championship lead, almost equally as well, because he was 10 points behind coming into this. I'd argue that right now, maybe Jorge Villar might be almost at the championship lead, but we'll have to see, because for Norby to only be 10 points ahead after this many races, it might be quite close, as there's definitely contact there. Kreutzhoff pushed sideways, great save, cuts the chicane, but yep, Jorge Villar very fairly staying behind. He's not taking advantage of that great sportsmanship from the Spaniard. Now he says, right, now you can get going. I'll push you down the start finish straight, get out of the way again. And look, again, Kreutzhoff puts the truck in the middle of the road, because that means Jorge Villar would have to go all the way around the outside, and he's not daft enough to do that. It's a good cutback though, does the number 12. But look behind them. All of this time, Lucas Hahn is closing in, penalty markers or not. He is getting closer and closer in the Iveco, making this potential manufacturer scrap for third place. 8 seconds ahead of those guys is Reparo. He's gone. Sasha Lenz here in 9th place. Having a bit of a better time of it this time around here at Zolder. We go on board with Sasha. Third in the championship in 2023 in the real world, that is. Look again, he's turning right, but the wheel was straight there. As he gets on the power, the back end is coming around a little bit, holding the momentum. Chicane they go, hopping this way and that way. Looks great from on board. Doesn't look as dramatic on board as it is outside, actually. Is down the inside. Jorge Villar on Robin Kreutzhoff. He has to cut the penalty marker this time round. Jorge's on the grass, has to come back on, and now Lucas Hahn is right in this fight, completely up there with these guys. And this is the battle for, well, based on Reparo getting penalties actually afterwards, this might be the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th here. So 2 of the final podium positions up for grabs here. Lucas Hahn will get a penalty for the first race, it's been determined, so we'll have to hope for him that the second result will make up for that and he'll be happy enough with it. Just see Reparo there going out of shot in the background in 2nd place. Norbert Kish leads by just over a second actually from Angel Reparo, so I do wonder if Angel is still hitting the markers as Nathan Smith decides that he wants to make more of a chicane out of that. Nechtel comes across the front of him though. Very scary moment there. He just got pushed as he came out of the Goldberg box. Nechtel and, oh dearie me, the number 33 machine is Tobias Martinez completely sideways in there. Nathan Smith now involved in more contact. Jonathan Andre's in that. Oh, and Jari Stark has decided to almost end up in the pit lane by the look of it. It's in our picture-in-picture. Robin Kreutzhoff still somehow in front of Jorge Villar. How is he doing this? It's amazing defensive driving. Say, putting it in the perfect place every single time. We once again have awesome entertainment here in the Digital Racing Challenge, part of Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. We're enjoying this, everybody. I certainly am up here in the commentary box. 50p in me to give me some more voice capability by the end of this. Oh, there's a big hit onto a penalty marker for Robin Kreutzhoff. He needs to be careful with that when he's trying to defend all of these positions. Towards the Villeneuve chicane, 90 degrees of lockdown there as well from Jorge Villar, but look how well they stopped. It turned in one way, then the other. And there's the sausage curve. Look, you can see the right hand side of the truck just hops up in the air, but Jorge's got some fantastic capability there to really hold on to the back end of that thing. He sort of estimates when it's going to take off and when it's going to hang the back end out. He just knows. He knows it's coming. He's so much later on the brakes into the Boulderberg box. Turns in, Kreutzhoff's still there. Oh, there's a tiny touch, and you felt the truck get unsettled there. Lucas Hahn wants a piece of this now. Almost getting through, but no. The gap is eradicated, and we've got one more lap left in the race. Are we going to see some big dives from these guys into the last moments of the race? Kreutzhoff still in 3rd place, Villar 4th, and then Hahn in 5th. Norbert Kiss is now onto the final lap of the race here at Zolder. Difficult time at the first one after PC crash before he got going. Then Angel Reparo is in second place. He's half a second behind Norbert Kish, so I mean, no disrespect to Reparo, he's very, very fast, but with the pace that we've seen Norby has here, I don't think that penalty markers are being completely observed there by Reparo if he's gaining that much time, the European champ. Kreuthoff has been, I mean, we don't do driver of the day or sort of driver of the race or anything along those lines, but honestly, Kreuthoff has been absolutely mega here. And even if he doesn't hold onto this position in these last sort of moments of the race, I think we'd all agree that Kreuthoff has been the star. These three real-world drivers going at this now here at Zolder. And it's the Scania sideways into the chicane ahead of the MAN. He's just floating it around. It's awesome to see. And no contact still with the corner markers, the penalty markers. He's absolutely nailing this right now. Look again. He's just that bit earlier on the brakes, I think. Oh, there wasn't a touch there from Jorge Vila, but he just got this right. Lucas Hahn will be laughing all the way to the end of this race. Jorge tries to get a bit of a cutback underneath him, doesn't work that time round. In our picture-in-picture, you can see Sasha Lenz ahead of Enrique Marcos, just behind Josi Vila. Nearly 11 seconds up the road from these guys. We have Norbert Kish and Angel Reparo about to finish on the road, first and second. Jorge Vila tries one more cutback, one more opportunity, just about puts the lip of the truck underneath, but it doesn't work for him. Norbert Kish round to the final corner, left, then right, and he takes the win in round 6 of the championship here at Zolder. That's a great return to form from the front of the field for Norby. Angel Reparo finishes in second position in truck 87. Fine form indeed, but I'm not sure how legitimately. And Robin Kreuthoff, everybody in the chat, drop emojis please. Robin Kreuthoff, third place. That's the hardest he's worked for that, I can tell you. That was epic stuff to watch. Jorge Vila next up, and Lucas Hahn finishing in 5th place. That was the epitome of close and respectful truck racing right there, everyone. That was lovely to watch. Marinas, what a great night he's had. Truck number 13 finishes inside the top 10. Then Josi Vila and Sasha Lenz next up, with Enrique Marcos in the Mercedes finishing in 9th. Gogo Balai in 10th ahead of Chaba Hagedis in 11th. Gillian Christian finished in 12th. He's already put it in the gravel in celebration. Nathan Smith finishing in 13th. Joan Tobias Martinez, truck 33, was 14th ahead of Jonathan Andre. Then Valentin Nechtel in truck 92, who's just had a bit too much of an enthusiastic drift. And it was Jari Stark, 17th. Didn't see too much of Jari tonight, but he was still, again, involved in battles and getting on with it. Bjorn Tyhus recovers to 18th after being 29th in the earlier race. And then Vincent Lahoste, the Frenchman, finished in 19th. Actually, I think they just about changed that. Something has changed there, so apologies. 20th place, Benjamin Rico Rodriguez finishes in 20th. David West, 21st. Bastian Donker finishing in 22nd position ahead of Andreas Wagner, Norbert Juhasz, Gyula Zentai, Victor Shabardos, Henry Tyhus, Hendrik Nietsch, and John Newell was classified in 27th place. But Norbert Kish takes the win in round 6 of the championship. And like I say, I'm sure you'll all agree that was more epic racing, epic fun from everybody involved. And we have not even completed the first half of the season yet. We still have a long way left to go before the championship is complete. It's a great way to spend our off-season ahead of the real world 2024 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Possibly one of the most exciting parts of the calendar as well. Comes up in 2 weeks' time, because after we tidy everything up here and collect all the truck body parts and penalty markers, we're going to pack up this circus and move on to the Nürburgring, where we will have a night race. Believe it or not, it will be absolutely epic. We're going to hopefully get some fireworks there as well, and not just on the track, but it's a bit of a celebration. We're going to get some fireworks here by the look of it from Robin Kreuthoff. 45, if you can get that Scania to do donuts here. Yes, he can. He's been practicing this, I can tell you that. That is a very narrow start finish straight to get a Scania team cab to do donuts in. And he knows where our cameras are as well. He's done a good job there. That's off to Robin. Around he goes. That was one of the best defensive drives I think we have seen all season from him and from anybody. That was absolutely supreme entertainment. We hope you've all enjoyed the show, everybody. And we're going to have a look here at the calendar for the next round, which you can expect on the 25th of February. We're heading to the Nürburgring, and then we still have 4 more amazing circuits to go. Autodrom Most in Czechia, Tor Poznan in Poland, then Jarama in Spain. And then we finish the season at Misano in Italy on the 21st of April, about a month before we then go to Misano in the real world for the start of the real season. So the drivers will get a little bit of practice close to the time there at least, and they can all hope for a great start to their campaign when it comes to the real racing. I've been Chaz Draycott with the wonderful Gero Mulkau behind the scenes here, everybody, for the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship Digital Racing Challenge. It's a win apiece for Jorge Villa and Norbert Kish, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks' time when we head to the Nürburgring. But for now, good night, everyone, and we'll see you very soon.